You are now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show. How easy did you find it to ask for help when you needed it?
Very difficult. And that's being really frank and honest. And it has been. And I think, you know, as I move through, it's the thing I have to work hardest on. I had a real kind of defining moment in my own leadership that brought this front and center, which then meant I went on to do what I would call my own work. I needed to kind of do some of my own stuff in order to work through how I was presenting this tough, exterior driven woman on a mission thing that serves me to some degree, but is also my Achilles heel. But the way it showed up, and which is why I use the word Achilles heel, is so I was responsible for a team. And what I found out indirectly is a member in my team, this is obviously quite a time ago now, was really struggling in their personal life, but they didn't feel they could come and talk to me as their line manager. And the story that came back to me through my manager, who they went to, and I, you know, I don't have an issue with them doing that, because they had to go to a place where they could talk. And for whatever reason, and I know a little bit now what the reason was why they didn't feel that they come to me, is the phrase that they shared was, Tess has got her shit together. I can't possibly go to her.
Wow.
She's so got her shit together. That's verbatim.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that's so not true.
But thanks for thinking
But clearly that's what I'm projecting.
Wow.
Because, you know, this drive and therefore the softer, vulnerable part of me is not so visible. And I thought, whilst some of that will be helping me, you know, achieve and drive and make things happen, that's not the kind of leader I want to be. And so that set me off on my own journey. This is pre-moving into learning and development I mentioned earlier, where I've got some work to do, because I need to be a lot more rounded and a lot more holistic and more available to be able to have the real conversations, good and bad, when they arrive. And so I did a lot of my own work in unfolding. Where is this coming from? Where is this reluctance to share my softer, vulnerable side? And I, you know, I've done a lot of work on that. I know exactly where it's rooted. And, you know, I can see it when it comes up, because of course that's what we do now. You know, it'll be one of those voices that come up, and I can have an internal conversation with, actually, I'm not going to listen to this. I want to show up differently than that.
Wow.
And therefore share from a different place. So yeah, loads of learning, lots of deep work, lots of tears.
Yeah.
You know, in some of my trainings, we laugh. Some of my training partners, we talk about there was more tears and snot in that year of training than there was anything else. And so I've got more comfortable with that. And because I'm more comfortable with it in myself, that's a real part of the strength that I have when I'm working with really senior leaders who are lonely, challenged, depressed, maybe having panic attacks. I'm more accessible and they can bring their real selves into the conversation, because they can't do it often in their work setting. So they need, in the coaching space, somewhere where they can unpack and get unlocked and understand where whatever this rumbling is coming from or what's happening. And so hence my comment earlier, I'm quite often looking in the mirror, so that was me.
Yeah. That's actually a phrase I always reflect back on, Tess. Is I think it's fantastic in that situation that you did put up the mirror, because a lot of people would go, well, how dare that person not come to me? How dare they think I've got my shit together? How and blame. When actually I'm a massive believer as a leader, whether you're a podcaster, a speaker, a business leader, CEO, with your team, with your clients, it's about looking in your mirror and going, how did I create that?
Yes.
How did I enable that or give off that impression?